What's going on, man? What's up? What's up, man? What's going on?
He's got glasses on that are shining. He's got on a baseball cap.
Still yellow.
It's windy.
Vehicle camping can feel safe because your home is always right beside you. But in these cases, that safety disappears fast from a stranger entering a woman's campsite at 2A, to a truck nearly trapped under a rare blizzard. When the night turns against you, would you stay or leave immediately? This account is from Bunny and Beyond Van Life, a channel focused on road living, including tense run-ins with law enforcement. On June 29th, 2025, she was stopped at Fox Glen Park in Flagstaff, Arizona.
Imagine this. You're sitting peacefully inside your own van in a public park. You're not making any noise and you're not outside bothering anyone. You're working remotely from your laptop in your van. Then all of a sudden, you get the knock. It's a police officer. They're threatening to arrest you if you don't leave in a half hour. This isn't a movie. This is real life. This happened to me in Flagstaff, Arizona at Fox Glen Park.
At first, nothing appeared unusual. Her van sat in a public parking lot. The park had not closed yet, and there were no signs of trouble. Then a police vehicle pulled in. The officers watched her van and aimed a strong light through the window. From her perspective, it did not seem like a casual check. It felt more like being inspected, and the power in the moment moved outside.
The police knock on your house door, but it's a little bit different. It's gonna be trouble. You're either going to be asked to move, they're going to suspect you're doing something wrong, or you're facing another threat. He knocked on my door, he shone his big bright light in my van like he was searching it, and said it looked like I was camping. I told him the park is still open, and it felt like he was just harassing me.
The officers asked why she was inside the vehicle. The idea of camping came up early. Despite no evidence showing that she was camping there, she remained inside and declined to open the door. Then, another officer arrived, increasing pressure. The two officers wanted her to come out, but she would not comply. The exchange turned into a dispute about park rules. She maintained that she was only inside her vehicle in a public park, while the officers saw it differently. For people in vans, that is where things become uncertain. Parking or resting can quickly be treated as illegal camping, even when nothing about the vehicle has changed. In the end,
Does that work for you?
You already told me that the first time you came and harassed me. You said you thought I was camping.
We got called here because people are suspected to be camping.
Here's the thing, I'm in a van. That says so much more. He didn't even need to say it again. Now, there were other people in the parking lot, and I'm sure they were van lifers as well.
they gave her a deadline and said remaining after that time would become an offense. She accepted the timeline while still questioning the reason. A warning was issued, and the officers left. No physical incident happened that night. The escalation came from how her presence was viewed. When an ordinary parking spot turns into a legal gray zone, who decides what is happening? A bright parking lot can seem safer than an empty road. But for Ian, one night in California showed that even a public space can become unpredictable. Ian's channel is new, positive, and centered on the freedom of owning less. He describes it as car life rather than van life, because he is not chasing a polished look. He is simply living from his vehicle in the way that fits him. On Saturday, January 13th, 2024, Ian had just ended a 10-hour shift and parked outside a McDonald's in California. It felt like a sensible stealth camping location, bright, busy, and close to other people. He was settling down, nearly asleep, when he heard something directly outside his car door.
What's going on, man? What's up? What's up, man? What's going on? Hey, bro. What's up? What you doing, man? You ain't fucking weird, bro. What the hell, man? Oh, man, I'm shaking, dude. I had my whole setup. I was sleeping back there, dude. Oh, man, he tried to open my door. And then you guys saw that. He wasn't saying anything, man. Dude was a freaking zombie, dude. I don't even have my glasses on. I can't be driving.
Ian chose the safest response available. He pulled away, using the car not only as a place to sleep, but as a way out. What unsettled him afterward was realizing he had watched similar things happen to other stealth campers before. Like many people, he assumed those moments happened to someone else. But Ian had not acted carelessly. He was parked in a lighted public place, inside his car, and had not attracted attention. Even so, it happened. Public areas can seem safer because there are lights, cameras, and people nearby, but deep at night, you still cannot decide who comes into the area or what they might do. Ian learned that an ordinary parking lot can shift in seconds when you are sleeping inside a vehicle. Maybe it was just a strange person passing through. Or maybe it could have turned worse. What would you have done? Stayed quiet, confronted them, or driven away immediately? Mary runs Maximalist Minibus, a YouTube channel where she shows her outdoor way of life, campsite routines, and everyday moments around her bus. Most of her uploads feel peaceful and straightforward. But in a video posted on September 10th, 2025, that quiet tone was broken by something she did not expect to capture. After delaying it for more than a year, Mary finally installed a solar-powered trail camera near her tent. She expected it might catch raccoons, deer, or other small animals moving around the campsite overnight. Instead, it filmed a stranger coming into her area while she was gone.
I've had this camera for at least a year, maybe more, maybe even 2 years. And I searched for it because I wanted one that had its own power so I could put it anywhere. It has the solar panel, and then it also has inside this little door, it has battery backup. You're supposed to put batteries in it. The batteries are like C batteries, or it's 4 AA's. So I got to get AA batteries. But the reason I haven't set it up is because it takes an SD card. You know, I don't have any this small. It only takes it can only be a maximum 32 megabyte SD card. And finally, I was at Walmart and I remembered. So I got an SD card. So now tonight I can set this up. I'm going to put the camera on this little footstool that I always put in front of my tent when I close it up for the night. It's basically just shooting right next to the bus. But for the first night, I don't even know if it's set up right. So I'm just going to leave it here.
She set the camera on a footstool beside the tent, aimed toward the bus and the surrounding campsite. The setup seemed simple enough. But the following morning, Mary noticed something was off. Her tent had been opened from the top down in a way that did not look accidental. At first, she almost brushed it aside. Then she remembered the camera. When she reviewed the footage, she understood that someone had been there sometime overnight.
In the first part, it shot at like 8:30, and it just got like some campers walking to the restroom. And then at 2:30, you should see these headlights. So it looks like the car's coming from around, or I don't know, or I don't think it's a camper. And then it's a pickup truck that goes by. I don't recognize it. It could belong to a camper, but I know most of those cars. It's not a vehicle I recognize. Let's start with that. But right after it goes by, keep your eye on this over here. He's got glasses on that are shining. He's got on a baseball cap, and here he comes. He walks across. See, he's got a trash bag, it looks like. And I thought at first he had a backpack on. And then it missed the first part of him, but then he comes back with a flashlight. He's coming around, probably checking out what's on that table. Now he's shining the flashlight in through the mesh of the tent, trying to see what's inside the tent. And he's going, like, probably over to the golf cart to see what's in the golf cart. Around, I think he must probably go around the bus and come back again, because give it a second, he's going to come back. There he goes. And this time, he's not going to just look inside the tent. This time, yeah. He moves the camera. He moves the camera. I guess he doesn't know it's a camera. He's inside the tent for all. You can hear him plunking around, moving things. And then the movement stops, so the camera kind of stops recording.
Around 2, an unknown pickup truck passed by the campsite. A short time later, a man came out of the darkness. He wore a baseball cap and glasses, with what appeared to be a trash bag draped over his shoulders to shield himself from the rain. The most disturbing part of the footage was how relaxed he looked. He was not hurrying. He moved through the campsite, pointed a flashlight around Mary's belongings, looked near the tent, and then came back to inspect it more closely. For one moment, he shined the flashlight straight through the tent's mesh, as if trying to see what was inside. Then he shifted the footstool, seemingly unaware that the camera was sitting on it. Afterward, he opened the tent and stepped inside. For several minutes, he remained inside, going through her belongings in the dark. A trail camera can reveal what happened later, but it cannot prevent someone from walking into a campsite. That is what makes the recording so uneasy. Mary only learned afterward how close.
But you can hear him still, but you can't see him. There he goes. Now he comes out, but he's got a trash bag, and he's wearing a trash bag. It's not a backpack. But it was pouring rain last night. So I've been looking around trying to figure out what he took. I mean, the most obvious thing would have been this tablet. I mean, I don't leave my laptop in here. He didn't take it. Then again, it's kind of old school. Maybe I don't know. My printer's here. This is a good printer. He didn't take that. Those would probably be good if you were camping or something. Maybe, I don't know. He didn't take them. Elvis glasses. Yeah, all this stuff is still here. My hummingbird feeder is still here. He didn't take that. Squirrel feeder, this is it. It's not assembled yet. I do have a toolbox in here, and it's got a lot of small tools, you know, things that he could have taken, and he didn't take those either. It doesn't really look like he took anything. I don't really even know why he was here.
Someone had come to her private space. When the man eventually left, the oddest detail was what he seemed to take. It was not electronics, tools, or anything obviously valuable. He appeared to grab simple everyday items such as hand sanitizer, rubbing alcohol, and toilet paper. That detail shifted the tone of the entire incident. It did not seem like a break-in driven by money. It looked more like a person living outside and taking whatever he believed he needed. But that did not make it any less unsettling. A stranger still moved through her camp, looked inside her tent, and entered the area where she usually slept. Maybe the man was only trying to get by, or maybe there was another reason he inspected her campsite so closely. Either way, once someone enters the space where you sleep, that fear is difficult to shake. What would you have done after watching that footage stay there? Move camp, or leave entirely? In January 2025, a British content creator named James uploaded a tense video titled Scary Van Life. Park up caught on camera to his channel by the curb. James is known for travel vlogs and outdoor adventures, often sharing moments from his solo road trips across the UK while living out of his camper van. In this video, he traveled alone to Sunderland, a city in northeast England. After a long day of driving, James arrived and parked his van near a roadside location so he could settle in for the night. At first, the area felt calm and quiet, but a few hours later, that changed.
On the front, follow the pit. Follow the gunfire with the pippin and on the back. You're not working no one. I'm not the third door. I'm not the private rig. I'm not a person that's in the footballer. I'm not a reaper to know what it means when you put on the dead people who you're supposed to look. Monster, I haven't been heard before. I've got a new modern technology. I've got full stuff like this on there. You're a cover one?
Not long after falling asleep, James woke up to unexpected sounds coming from outside the van. When he looked out, he was shocked to see a man standing close to the vehicle, shouting unclearly and staring straight at him. The man's words were hard to understand, but his tone sounded aggressive and unstable.
Still there, look. It's going back.
For nearly 10 minutes, he kept yelling and knocking on the van window, showing no sign of leaving. James was alone and unarmed, so he had to decide whether to confront the stranger or stay inside, because the man could have been armed, intoxicated, or unpredictable. James chose to remain locked in the van and wait for him to leave. At one point, it seemed like the man had walked away, but he returned moments later and continued the outburst. James stayed quiet, avoided making the situation worse, and remained inside the vehicle. Thankfully, after some time, the stranger finally wandered off and did not come back. The man's real intentions were never clear. His behavior suggested he may have been under the influence or mentally unstable. The aggressive knocking and rambling could have been meant to lure James outside, or simply to provoke a reaction. For van lifers parked alone in quiet locations, a situation like this can become dangerous quickly. James's decision to stay inside likely kept the encounter from escalating. Was this just a random encounter with someone intoxicated? Or did the man have darker intentions for whoever he found sleeping inside the van? One thing is clear. For solo travelers, safety can depend on making the right choice in a split second. His clip is from a channel called Hunt Your Way, which focuses on rural property protection, off-grid living, and DIY security methods. The creator often shares real footage and personal experiences involving trespassing, theft, and unauthorized break-ins. On to November 12, 2022, the situation escalated sharply. After years of peace on a property he had owned and renovated over time, strange incidents began to happen. At first, it was just unfamiliar vehicles pulling into the driveway noticeable, but not immediately alarming. But it did not stop there. Security cameras were installed, and soon after, the first break-in happened. The intruder smashed a window on the side of a camper, tampered with the screen, and reached inside to unlock the door.
Bought this property about 6 years ago. Did a ton of work to the place. Completely cleaned it up. Went through, graveled the driveway. Just a full-on flip-out repair of the whole entire place. For the first 3 years, everything went smooth. We had absolutely zero problems. Started getting comfortable down there, leaving tools in the shed, no problem. So we had everything we needed down there if we had to make repairs. Then we started noticing some vehicles pulling in the driveway. We didn't have a gate up at that time, so there was 2 or 3 different vehicles that we noticed pulling in the driveway. So we threw up a bunch of cameras. So then we had our first break-in. As you can see from the pictures, they knocked our window out, the side window, and was able to pop the screen, reach around, jimmy the door, get the door open. But as you can tell, they tried to pry it open first, it looks like, before they busted the window out. Went in the camper, completely ransacked it, went through everything. Same with the sheds. They ripped the door off, the locks off, completely went through the shed, cleaned everything out. Anything that had value down there, they got. So this video footage here, I've actually held on to for quite a while, since last year. As you're gonna see, there's snow on the ground. I had the sheriffs come out. They took a report, gathered up evidence, and that was pretty much about the last that I heard from them. I followed up a few weeks later. This was all during COVID, and I kept getting the excuse that COVID was going on, it was slowing everything down, and then I just stopped getting the return phone calls when I left messages and trying to reach out. So it went absolutely nowhere. So yeah, I decided, hey, I'm gonna put this footage out there for you guys to see, and maybe it'll help somebody else out.
Footage shows the suspect hanging around near the entrance, checking the area, and eventually forcing entry through the already damaged window. The inside of the camper was ransacked. Items were scattered, cabinets were forced open, and valuable tools stored in nearby sheds were stolen. The sheds themselves had their locks destroyed.
We'll go ahead and roll this video here. I'm put it in slow motion here so we can talk about it. So as you can see, he's kind of creeping up here to the door. He kind of goes past the door and kind of looks, I'm assuming, to make sure there's no vehicles or anything on down the driveway. Goes up there, gives the old handle a pull, Obviously the door's locked. Then he goes over to where you can see the window I have taped to where it was broke out before. Starts peeling on that tape. That must have evidently took too long because then next thing you know, he tries to actually pry the window open, which he does get it open enough to put his arm through there. And I have put the screen back in there at this time, so you can see there he actually pops that screen out of the way, reaches around there to the door handle, and he's able to get that door unlatched. Okay, so by now at this point here, we were smart enough not to leave really anything of any true value in the camper there. So the video, you can see him coming out. I'm gonna slow-mo it as well. You can see he's running with something coming out the door, and that would actually be an old 10-year-old heater that we had in there, electric heater, that he helped himself to, and there he goes running back down the driveway.
The property owner reported the break-in to the local sheriff, submitted evidence, and waited. But updates were limited excuses centered around pandemic delays, and eventually, communication stopped completely. Months later, the suspect returned. Security footage from a later visit showed signs of forced entry again. Although the cold had caused the security batteries to fail, it was clear someone had broken in a second time. This time, something was left behind. Inside the camper, the intruder dropped a knife. The property owner quickly contacted law enforcement, who collected the weapon and assured him it would be tested for fingerprints. He believed he already knew the suspect, someone with a criminal record whose prints should already have been in the system.
All right, guys, so after that break-in there of getting the video, set everything back up, camera-wise, fixed the window, retaped it, I guess I should say, and headed back up north, and ended up coming back down 2 weeks later, and this is what we found. Unfortunately, the batteries were just too cold, evidently. Didn't get any recording of it, but this is what I walked into. All right, hey, we just got back down to the property. Pulled in the driveway here, it's all ice. Got the car stuck. That's gonna be fun, but come down here to do a few things. We'll talk about that here soon, but as you can see, our thief's been back. He pulled up the tape there, and I've already actually went in the camper, and look, he left something this time. Left his knife. So, as soon as I get out of here, I'm gonna go call the sheriff, see if he can come down. I really hope they're gonna fingerprint this knife, because that's all we need to catch this guy, and I believe I know who it is, and I believe he's already in the court system, and he should already have his fingerprints on file, so all they gotta do is get a print from that. It'd be pretty simple to match up, so let's hope they go the extra mile for me and get that thing fingerprinted, and we can get this guy. So stay tuned. All right, I'm gonna finish up this video with this. I wish I could tell you that the sheriff department did their job, ran these fingerprints on this knife like they said they would when they came out. He put his rubber gloves on, got his bag, took the knife, did all that, said it was gonna be ran to contact them, and I contacted them numerous times. Spoke with the secretary, left multiple messages, and the only time I got somebody to call me back was that they were so backed up with COVID that it basically didn't have time to handle this. So, and that was the end of it. That was the last call I got. So I'm putting all this out to you guys. Maybe you guys know some information, but
But weeks passed. No updates. No fingerprint results. Just more silence. Despite multiple calls and messages, the case went cold. Authorities blamed a backlog and moved on. The knife, potentially a crucial piece of evidence, was never followed up on. It is frustrating to see how easily a case like this can slip through the cracks. If the suspect had a record, why was the print not matched? Was this just another break-in? Or was there something more sinister? One detail stands out. Why would someone bring a knife to a burglary unless they expected confrontation? Was the intruder ready to use it, or was it just a tool? Either way, the presence of a weapon shifts this from property crime into something far more threatening. So here's the question. What would have happened if the owner had been home that night? And more importantly, how many more times will this intruder strike before someone finally takes it seriously? There is more to come. Have you ever gone camping and suddenly heard something that made the entire area feel unsafe? A group of friends was trying to enjoy a quiet night outside when a string of nearby sounds changed everything. This video was uploaded on April 18th, 2022, by the channel This Is Life, which is run by a man named Matt. His channel usually shows adventures, fishing, humor, and car camping along the west coast of British Columbia and beyond. One day, Matt decided to take a stealth camping and fishing trip with one of his friends. They reached a spot, began fishing, set up their camp, built a fire, and enjoyed what appeared to be a peaceful night. But as they remained there, the atmosphere started to shift.
We have arrived at our spot. We're gonna set up camp. We're gonna grab some firewood. I kind of feel guilty for the amount of money we spent on this firewood, but she's gonna be nice and warm. But this tiny little bit was 10 bucks, man. I don't feel good about it, but that's okay.
Strange sounds began coming from somewhere off in the distance. What made it worse was that the sounds did not remain far away. They seemed to be moving closer and closer toward their camp.
Shooting guns is a little sketchy. Blast of 4 or 5 every time. It's gone on like 7 or 8 times. We're relatively close. Oh God. And your doors don't lock?
Well, I like to close my windows.
Okay. I think we're gonna be good. I got an axe with me. Oh. Did you guys hear that? These gunshots are getting really sketcy. It almost sounds like they're getting closer to us. I'm actually a little worried. I'm a little scared right now. It's really loud. Now I hear really fast driving. Okay, I'm gonna get in my car. That is way too sketchy. Sounds like there's a car that just flew across the bridge, gun in it, with an exhaust of some sort. Whoa, my heart's beating. That's freaky. Whoa, I haven't even been able to set up my bed yet. Gunshots keep going off. I feel too sketched out to sleep. There's like cars.
The situation quickly became frightening, but Matt and his friend were able to stay safe. From what could be heard, the shots seemed to be coming from somewhere near or past a bridge close to them. Then, after the shots, a car could be heard speeding away. That detail made it seem possible that they had just heard something like a drive-by shooting. There is no clear information about whether anyone was injured or what was actually happening nearby. But if that was the case, camping that close to it would have been terrifying. At that distance, the chance of being hit may not have been high, but it was never zero. That is what makes a moment like this so unsettling. Matt and his friend were not involved in whatever was happening, but they were still close enough to hear it and worry about where the shots could go. Eventually, they got into their cars and kept camping. Their fear slowly eased once they realized they were not the target and did not seem to be in immediate danger. Maybe Matt and his friend only heard something nearby, or maybe they were closer to real danger than they understood. If that happened while you were camping, would you stay or leave immediately? This next case shows how an ordinary van camping trip can become something the driver never expected. What began as a normal night turned into an experience he would not forget. This video was uploaded on April 6th, 2026, by the channel West Ventures. In the video, he heads into Willow River State Park during a rare March blizzard, planning to sleep in his truck while heavy snow, freezing rain, and strong winds pass through the area. After setting up camp, the snow starts falling harder as night moves in. Inside the truck, he places reflectix over the windows, heats the cabin, and listens as the wind gradually grows outside.
All right, everyone. Well, just got all the reflectix up. Messing around with the
light strips back there. They're on a timer. Yeah, the snow's coming down, waiting for it to start getting heavier. We got a few gaps here and there, but that's minor. I'll plug that up with a shirt later in my pants and whatever I could find.
Reflectix can help keep warmth inside a vehicle by reducing heat loss through the windows. But during a strong winter storm, even small openings, cold glass, and outside wind can cause the interior to cool down faster than expected. Later that night, the storm becomes more intense.
This is gonna be relaxing. You can hear the snow hitting the roof. Wind's picking up a little bit. Give you guys a little look-ski. Oh yeah, it's getting windy. Turn the truck on here for a minute, let it warm back up. It's cooling off quite fast. That way my lights aren't blaring out there. Don't need everybody knowing where I'm at. 37 degrees, and it's 10:04.
How's he doing?
All right, guys. Well, like I stated a little bit ago, I'm awfully tired, so I might honestly fall asleep. Probably just gonna turn these lights off, but either way, if I do fall asleep, I will see you guys bright and early in the morning. Good night, y'all.
While lying in the back of the truck, he hears snow hitting the roof and notices the cabin getting cold quickly as the wind grows stronger outside. Around midnight, he opens the door to look at the storm, and snow blows directly into the truck. The snowfall is heavier now, the wind is stronger, and the blizzard has clearly begun taking over the park. By morning, the campsite is covered in fresh snow.
We got quite a bit of snow last night.
He steps outside into the cold, surprised by how much snow has built up overnight, burying the truck and the whole area around him.
One last little look. I grabbed my butter that was stuck down in here from last night. Hopefully. A lot of snow.
The most frightening moment comes when he tries to leave. The roads are slippery, visibility is bad, and the truck begins sliding as he makes his way through deep snow and a plowed-up ridge blocking the exit.
Oh, that's crazy. Somebody's actually been in here today. And I can't. Whoa. We were just sliding. I can't see nothing. Ooh, too risky. Oh no. Everything's just soaked, full of ice. Whew, it's cold out. Blowing. It's windy.
After finally getting out, he describes how severe the storm became, with near whiteout conditions and several inches of snow falling per hour nearby. The strange part is that the night itself was tense, but the real danger came the next morning, when leaving the campsite became the hardest part. If his truck had gotten stuck overnight in that blizzard, what do you think he could have done? That's it for tonight. Which moment creep? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story. Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker